Ladies and gentlemen, this is it. The time has finally come. It is time to play the final installment in the Grisaia Phantom Trigger visual novel series. That's right, we're here to play Grisaia Phantom Trigger Volume 8, the newest game in the Grisaia series, and what is confirmed to be the last game in the Grisaia series. That's right, that's what's been announced by Frontwing a few weeks before this game was released. They did say that this is it. This is pretty much the end game. This is where it all ends. So, oh man, yeah, this is officially the conclusion of the Grisaia visual novel series. Now, I did read. Now, for those who don't know, there is gonna be a TV anime, a Grisaia Phantom Trigger TV anime. Yes, it was just announced, I believe, like today or at least yesterday, that there was gonna be a Grisaia Phantom Trigger TV anime. So I'm super excited for that. I can't wait to see more news about that. There was some OVAs. That were released a few years back. I know they adapted volumes 1, 2, and 3 into OVAs, and those were okay. Although I was disappointed that they did cut a few parts. But other than that, I think, I thought the OVAs were okay. But now that they have a TV anime, I'm interested in seeing how they're gonna adapt this series into TV anime format. I'm assuming they're gonna adapt like the rest of the visual novels, but if that's the case, then it is a little bit worrisome since there's just so much content in these visual novels, especially like episodes 4 through 8. But let's see how they make it work. But yeah, enough about that. Let's get on with Volume 8, aka the final. Oh man, the final installment in the Grisaia. The final installment of the Grisaia Phantom Trigger series. I'm not ready for this to end. Like, I do have some problems with this series, with these visual novels, but I don't know if I'm ready for. I don't know if I'm ready for this series to end, man. Like, there's also a lot of things that I like about this. You know, whatever. Alright, enough about me talking. Let's just get on with it. Let's just get on with the visual novel. Alright, let's go. For the cave in which we live, there is nothing to look up at. The claustrophobic walls are all the eye can see. All you ever hear are discontented grumbles, at times interspersed with moans of agony. A musty odor assaults the nose. Rancid water and congealed blood, the stench of defeat. Now, whose perspective is this? When I was a kid, I thought that one day when I was a grown-up, I'd be off somewhere else. That I'd be someone completely different from who I'd been till then. What this somewhere, or something, was, though I hadn't a clue. Still, I resolutely believed that one day, like a caterpillar transforming into a butterfly and taking off into the air, I'd be somewhere other than here. But as any grown-up knows, reality bites. Even if you know that things can't go on as they are, there's nothing you can do about it. When my parents, my older brother, and my little sister came here, I never could have guessed what was about to happen to us. So I'm guessing this is Anishi's point of view because, well, I mean, obviously it can't be any of the main characters' point of view because, well, they don't have, like, as far as we know, they don't have like an older brother or like a little sister or anything like that. My parents, up to their necks in gambling debt, went looking for anything else. They came knocking on TFA's door. Just like that, my family landed jobs here in dam repairs for the hydroelectric power station. That didn't last long though. Only 8 months after their arrival, my dad got addicted to gambling again, and my mother went back into sex work to pay off the debt. She also relapsed into drugs. On top of that, my sickly younger sister developed lung cancer. The dirty, grit-filled air must have been too much for her. But we didn't even have any money to pay for her medication. It can't go on like this. My brother was the one to say it. In our unemployed father's stead, he volunteered to join the guard and chose the path of the gun. Families of volunteer guards had their living expenses modestly compensated. He wasn't any good at killing, but it wasn't like there was anything else he could do. So off he went with a strange smile and a salute, neither of which suited him. They say that the day he died was the day he first set foot into battle. Aww. We first learned of his passing when the family's compensation increased from before. But there was still the problem: my jobless father, my drug-addled mother, and my infirm sister. There was no way the meager bonus would pay for all of them. I won't become like my brother. I can't even imagine wanting money so badly that I'd kill for it. Honestly, I think that if you have to kill in order to live, you should die yourself. But war is different, and war was headed here, and it would take no quarters no matter what I thought of the matter. People who get involved in wars are invariably a little off, a bit broken in some way. In their reasoning, their values, their speech, their attitudes, somehow they end up broken. No matter how much I despise war, the enemy is hindered by no such worries and rampages towards us like a raging tsunami. In the aftermath of the storm, we gather up anything that seems valuable and exchange it for money. That's how I survive. Who is this? Even getting the teeth, the gold fillings. Yeah, beggars can't be choosers, and you definitely are beggars. You're looting anything that could be potentially valuable. Before me lies the corpse of a soldier whose wrist is missing the Timex watch I just snatched from it. The man died with his mouth half agape, his uniform soaked with blood. Flies gathered one by one on his half-open eyes, laying their eggs on the surface of his eyeball. The sight of that alone makes me want to vomit. Oh, what a lovely description. With an expert hand, Bruno reaches into another corpse's mouth and deftly shines a pen light to check for gold teeth. Bruno is 3 years younger than me. If a guy like him can do it, there's no good reason why I shouldn't be able to. I reach out for the dead soldier's tidily groomed chin and open his mouth wide. There's nothing but blood inside. A pop rings out from his throat, the moisture bursting an air pocket in his lungs, perhaps. They really go into vivid detail about these corpses. Good lord! This dude. Well, this Patrick dude definitely kind of looks like Anishi. So so was his name Patrick, but then it turned to Anishi, or is Patrick just a completely different character? I'm already wondering. I mean, because obviously they wouldn't give us his backstory or focus on him for like no reason, right? That's not how these visual novels work, right? Even as I talk the talk, my heart is trembling so violently that it feels like it's about to leap out of my chest. When my older brother volunteered for the guard and got his teeth checked, he told me that nowadays when the army do dental work, they mostly use resin. Things must be broadly the same on the enemy side too.
財布かスマートフォンを持ってないか？財布は金だけ抜けばいいし、スマホは SIM カードを抜いて捨てていけ。電源を切ってても本体を追跡されるらしい。分かってるよ。銃には手を出すなよ。
Yeah, you probably don't even need to check for like any gold teeth. Just a smartphone and wallet should do. And they said themselves, a soldier that young wouldn't have gold fillings. I'm pretty sure you can get good money for selling weapons. I'm pretty sure that's how arms deals work. That's the point of arms deals, isn't it? Isn't it arms smuggling? Gun smuggling? But he does have a point though, yeah. If they're seen carrying a weapon, they might end up getting shot. They say that the enemy spares any soul who flees unarmed. That may sound like an act of extraordinary kindness. In reality, they just target people according to the level of threat they represent. Even if they're the enemy, they simply don't have time to pick off weaklings. We won't touch the guns, but everything else is ripe for the taking. Guns and ammo fetch a good price, of course, as do weapon lights and optical sights. Even gadgets we didn't know how to dismantle at first are now swiftly taken home. I didn't get into this line of work because I wanted to. I wouldn't be able to live otherwise, and it's definitely a step up from killing people. It ain't me, it ain't me, I ain't no Santa son. It ain't me, I ain't no fortunate one, no fortunate son. Hey, congratulations to Scott, whoever he is. Father Renard. Was that the priest that we met back in Volume 7? God, it's been so fucking long since I played Volume 7. Good lord. Oof, rest in peace, Scott's dad. Whoever he is. Ariel from The Little Mermaid? Oof. Poor Ariel. She's not meant for the mountains, she's meant for the sea. It's a common tactic for parents trying to scare their kids into obedience, threatening to abandon them in the mountains to be whisked away by the boogeyman if they don't do as they're told. But to actually go through with it? Ah. Oh, that sentence. Hello, we're at war. No surprise that folks are keeping smaller families now. That life's no fairy tale. Life is definitely no fairy tale. Especially the life we're living in right now. Jeez, first Alfreda, now this game. This is like... This is some... Considering current events right now, this is some very unfortunate release dates. I mean, we got Grisaia talking about war. We got Alfreda, who featured like some full-blown invasion from like a demon lord and stuff like that. It's such inconvenient timing. Yeesh.
連中が動物と違うところは道具を使うところ。手製の槍や斧はもちろん、最近じゃ銃まで使うことを覚えたって噂だ。それは怖い。俺たちは運がいい。ここに来た時はもう15歳以上だったからな。レナード神父は15歳以上のガキには全く興味がない。施設に引き取られた女の子はいい生活をしてるって聞くけど、それもどうだろうな。アリエルを見てみろよ。あんな感じでどんどんおかしくなって、最後にはシスター
Oh, poor Sister Emma, whoever she is.
シスターエマはいい人だ。それはシスターエマが口にする正しい行いに従うやつだけさ。少しでも間違ったら陰湿ないじめの対象にされる。それが正義だって思ってるようなイカレバだ。
Damn, Sister Emma sounds like quite the character.
いざとなったら妹を預けてしまおうかと思っていたけれど、ダメそうだ。
お前の妹はもう14だろ。アリエルと同じで雑用係をやらされる。妹が可愛いならやめておけ。ほら、これやるよ。ホロサイトだ。これ売って妹に飯食わせてやればいい。
ありがとう。
A hollow sight will buy you a decent meal, huh?
帰ろうぜ。そろそろやばい。
Damn, well, imagine what a whole gun can do. It might not mean much coming from me, but I've always been an earnest sort. I still am. My father, always the cynic, always the contrarian, likes to do the opposite of everyone else. He takes petty pride in separating himself from the herd. He has the same approach to gambling, always taking heavy losses because he goes against the grain. Yeah, but it's also costing his family money, so that's, I mean, there's eventually a time where you gotta put your pride aside and, you know, face reality. You can't turn your life around. You can apply your natural-born talents and a little hard work, but it's luck that determines the rest. Of course, you need some courage if you want to draw that luck to you. Alright, some pretty good advice right off the bat. You can't turn your life around. You can all apply your natural-born talents and a little hard work, but it's luck that determines the rest. Of course, you need some courage if you want that luck to come to you. Now that's a good quote to live by. I don't possess that bit of courage, though. On this battlefield, where you might not live to see tomorrow, all I can do today is dream of being anywhere but here. And alright, black screen is the opening. Yeah, and we are back from the OP, and now we got the, looks like we're back to the main group. We finally get back to the main group with Reda, who seems to be holding a magazine of some sort. A rifle magazine.
どうかってさ、子供の頃なりたかったものってある？何急に。
Well, that's an interesting question.
私ってさ、将来の夢とかそういうのなかったなって。
Considering your circumstances, yeah, I can understand that.
毎日を生きるだけで精一杯で、好きとか嫌いとか関係なく自分にできることでお金を稼ぐのが仕事で、そうしてるうちに殺し屋が仕事になって。
On a side note, I like how the way they draw the hands. Rena has beautiful hands.
後悔とかしてないけど、もしこうなっていなかったら私ってどうなってたんだろうって、なんか急にふっと思い始めちゃってさ。ああ、単純作業の繰り返しをしてるとあるわね、そういうこと。
You know what will look good on her hands? A ring. Come on, Haruto. おー！
スナイパーになってなかったら何になってた？さあ、考えたこともなかったわね。私は生まれた時からずっと身近にライフルがあったし、両親もそういう仕事だったし、 子供の頃から父親の会社の看板背負って射撃大会に出て優勝したりして賞金とかもらってたから、稼げなくなるまではこれで食べていくんだろうなって思ってた。まあそれも父親がやらかして豚箱に放り込まれるまでの話だけどね。今はもう他の仕事が許されなくなっちゃったわ。他にやりたいことってあるの？そうね、今とは真逆っていうか、もっと普通に平凡に暮らすのもいいわね。例えば主婦。
Oh, that is so girly. Oh, that's so cute. That's such a cute dream. Oh, you gotta love it. Toka with the Gap Moe coming in strong. Yeah, I love those characters with those like those girly little dreams, even though their personality, their overall personality is not so typical. It's not typically girly.
なんてよく聞こえなかった。どうでもいいでしょ別に。
Of course, she's not gonna repeat herself. Oh, that's so cute. Toka wants to be a housewife.
映画とかだと、俺この戦争が終わったら。
Oh my god, yeah, they... Ah, my god, they even acknowledge it. They even acknowledge it's a death flag.
でもさ、実際のところ死なないやつは何をやろうが何を言おうがずーっと死なないし、死ぬやつは何の前触れもなくサクッと死んじゃうよね。8のつく日が危ないってよく言うわよね。
Ah, yep.
戦闘開始から8時間後とか、開戦8日。
Gotta love number-based superstitions.
28日目、軍人になって8年目とかね。一つの8を乗り越えたやつは次の8まで死なないってやつよ。
Like the 8th, 18th, or 28th of a battle or a battle that starts. Bring up the fact that 8 is an unlucky number, and this is Grisaia Phantom Trigger Volume 8. Ah! God damn it! Stop it! Stop it! I want you two to stop this conversation right now! God. I literally just started this game, and we're already getting death flags. And this is the last volume too, so there is a chance that at least one of these characters might not make it to the end. Anything at this point, anything could happen. I don't think any of these characters really have plot armor. Who knows? Yeah, I've also heard that. I think I've also heard somewhere that number 4 is also really unlucky. Or was it the number 3? I don't remember.
要は戦場で兵を鼓舞して安心させるためのハッタリで、数字は現場や状況に合わせて適当に変わるんじゃない？なるほどね。無駄話してないで、ちゃっちゃと弾を込めちゃいなさい。これ片付けておかないと明日自分たちで撃つマガジンもなくなるわよ。っていうか、ローダー使わせてくれないかな。指が痛くなってきちゃった。私シューターなのに。
Yeah, I feel like a loader would be better. Would be a lot easier.
弾がないなら AK を拾えばいいじゃない。
Oh, what do you think this is? Call of Duty?
急にやってきて、パンがないならブリオッシュを食べればいいじゃないみたいな言い方されても。それにさ、ユウキさんはいつもそう言うけど、敵が使ってる AK を拾っても大体がゴミだよね。私さ、この前レギウスの弾が切れてとっさに足元に落ちてた AK 拾ったんだけど。
Impossible! AKs are always reliable. Now see, this is how I know this is a work of fiction.
捨てられてる AK には捨てられるだけの理由があるってことね。
ちなみにその捨てられてて撃てなかった AK ってどこが壊れてたの？
ボルトキャリアが交代したまま焼き付いててびくともしなかった。
Interesting.
切羽詰まってたし、なんとかならないかなって思ったんだけど、ボルトが交代したままロックしてるからトップカバーすら外せなかったよ。
そうね。確かにボルトが交代したままロックしちゃうとトップカバーはどう頑張っても外れない。そんな時はどうするか。はい、どうか。
You grab another AK, I guess.
とりあえず神を呪う。パピコシ。
汝、神を呪うことなかれ。はい、次、レナちゃん。
壊れてるのは捨てて新しい AK を拾
う。惜しい、半分正解。じゃあ近くに新しい AK
Then get any gun that might be on the ground. AK, pistol, rocket launcher, whatever.
う。すべては神のおぼし飯ということで諦める。
Inshallah.
はい、アウト。神を何かを諦めたり何かを投げ出すための言い訳にしてはダメです。
じゃあ正解は？
正解は死にかけの AK を無理にでも撃つです。
は？
What?
いいですか？ボルトがロックしてたのなら無理やりロックを解消すればいいが正解です。
But what if you don't have...
例えばボルトが交代位置でロックしていたのなら、こうストックを持ってボルトハンドルに足をかけて思いっきりガスガス蹴ってボルトを前進させる。
Okay. Well, if that happens, then you probably will be able to get like at least one shot off. But then again, I mean, I don't know. It's like, but
体重をかけてボルトの
I guess if there's no other weapon around, you really don't have a choice. But
大体はロックが解けます。
it also depends on like where you are, like where you're taking fire from. Like, are you in a trench? Are you in like an open building? Like, do you have room to clear that AK? And even if you do clear that gem, you know, how reliable is that AK gonna be? I mean, what caused it the bolt to be locked like that to the rear in the first place? Is it dirt buildup? Is it some other type of mechanical failures?
一度ロックを解除してしまえばまだ200発近く撃てるし、一発撃つたびにボルトがロックするようになっちゃっても、撃つたびにボルトを蹴っ飛ばせばまだ撃てます。
I mean, I guess even if you can fire one shot, it's better than having no weapon. But still, it's like, I don't know. I feel like Yuki's being a little bit too optimistic here with this hypothetical scenario.
AK は死なない。何度でも蘇るのよ。
いや、そんな天空の城みたいな言い方されて。っていうか、そこまでして無理に撃つ必要ってあるのかな？
もちろん必要がないなら撃たなくていいわよ。
Of course, Rena. They started this war, not you.
もし万が一そういう状況になった時、もうダメだと潔く諦める人間とまだやれると悪あがきをする人間、生き残るのはどっち？知識ってそういうものよ。
そうまでして生き残る価値なんてあるのかしらね、私たちに。
どんなにボロ
No,
ボロ
they are. Don't say that. They are.
勝手に死ぬことも許されない。それが AK という道具で、それは私たちも同じよ。
せちがらいね。
Yes, it is.
あんた、せちがらいって言葉の意味分かって言ってる？あにゃ、言ってみたかっただけ。
I mean, life is a bitch, though.
私たちみたいな人殺しはさっさと死ねとしか思われてないわよ。
せちがらいわね。
Ain't that a bitch?
姉さん、
Ain't that a kick in the head?
オッケー、今行く。
慌ただしいわね。少し前までは休憩時間にコーヒーを飲みに行くならダンキンかスタバかで喧嘩してる余裕もあったんだけどね。
大して変わっちゃいないわよ。昨日はネルドリップ派とフレンチプレス派で揉めてたじゃない。
French press.
そんなことよりあなたも暇なら卵目手伝ってよ。
I've never heard of French. I don't really know what French press coffee is, but I'm not a coffee drinker, but I wonder what's the difference between that and drip coffee.
やーよ 5.56 ミリの弾込めるのなんて
Oh, would you rather pack 308 rounds for Toka's HK417?
好き嫌い言ってる余裕があるうちにやれることやっておかないと後悔するわよ。
ほんと世知辛いわね
Or maybe it'd be easier for you to pack 9mm rounds if you're really that particular. If you really don't want to handle 5.56. Secret move. Death at first sight. And we got our boy Haruto. What's he doing?
すごいな、ハルト。そんな小さなカッターナイフでこんな大きな段ボールが一刀両断ではないか。さすがは刀使いだな。
That's, yep, Haruto the swordsman, a master of all blades apparently. Even a box cutter. I want to see him annihilate somebody with a butter knife. Or like one of those tiny razors. There's a little trick to it, you see.
それは私にもできるのか?
The trick is the same with all blades, or any sharp object really. It's a question of push and pull.
押して引く?
That's right. First, I extend the cutter blade as much as I can, then once it hits the cardboard box, I jam it in. All it takes to slice the entire length is to stick it in all the way to the hilt. If you retract it after that, the knife comes loose without much effort, so it cuts like butter if you make sure not to twist the knife around while you yank it.
では最初から刃の根元を当ててスッと引けばいいのではないか?
Maybe I should try that with... maybe I should start trying that with a box cutter and a cardboard box. Of course, assuming I don't end up cutting myself. Why don't you give it a go?
刃の根元を当ててスッと引く.
Indeed you did. Now try that push and pull technique I showed you.
こうか?
Well,
押して切る方が軽く切れるぞ。なぜだ?
at least when it comes to swords, the difference likely lies in the frictional heat of the blade edge. The type of blade edge matters too.
刃付けの差?
Take a look at this cutting knife. It's the cheap sort you can buy anywhere. But see how the slanted edge is beveled at two different angles?
言われてみて気がついたが、確かに2段の研ぎが入っているな。
This is how blade edges are sharpened for particularly long-lasting, wear-resistant knives. In other words, the blade itself might not be that sharp, but the edge is designed to cut well for a long time. Recently, super high-density knives with a triple bevel have started appearing. The more you sharpen the edge, the better they cut, but they dull quickly, so they got classified as low wear-resistant instead.
面白いな。
Yep. Very interesting indeed. You learn all types of things from the Grisaia fan trigger series. The key to keeping a high wear-resistant knife cutting well is to raise the temperature of the blade tip above a certain level.
つまり、ギュッと押し込んだ時に刃先の温度を摩擦熱で上昇させたことで、その後の引き切りの切れ味が変わるというわけだな。
Yes. There are a few other factors involved too, but that's the gist of it. Ultrasonic cutters use the frictional heat generated by high-frequency vibrations to make slicing effortless.
超音波カッターは知っているぞ。この前おばさまが手術の時に使っていた。あれはいいぞ。繊細な臓器でも刃先で押しつぶすことなく切開できるのだ。
You know, this is a great talk and all, but do they really have time to do all this? Like, is there a war going on? Aren't there soldiers that need to be, like, aren't there injured soldiers that need treatment?
いいな、欲しいなと言ったら100万
How do they have time for this? Well, then again, I guess this is downtime considering that we literally just saw the girls, or at least Rena, loading magazines, so I'm guessing this is like preparation for the next battle. This is like downtime before the next battle. Yeah, I think come to think of it, I think they literally came back from a battle, like once, like at the end of Volume 7. So yeah, this probably takes place during that time. They've fallen in price in recent years, but the surgical ones are expensive.
なるほど。刃先の摩擦熱か。勉強になった。
Yeah, that's a good lesson in physics and knives and blades. The blade also wears when the frictional heat of the slicing edge gets too hot, so it's vital to keep the edge type, heat capacity, and heat dissipation speed in balance. That's what Yamamoto-san, my sword maker, told me.
相変わらず何気にすごいな、山本は。
A woman of many talents. What do you expect from a Japanese woman who plots graphs on her computer with one hand and forges swords with the other? The hell? Damn, that's amazing.
行ってきます。
Okay, take care. Come back in one piece.
井ノ原、お前もだぞ。
Oh, it's early to say now, but I'm gonna miss how Rena's eyes just the chemistry between her and Haruto, how her eyes just light up every time she sees him. It's so cute.
言われなくてもわってんよ。
だいぶボロボロだな、あの二人。
Well, they are the DPS among the team. It's like I said earlier, hollow women are wear resistant. They can still cut well even after taking a few knocks.
それでも、あまり無茶な使い方はしたくないものだな。
Yep, because it only means more work for you and your aunt. I agree, but a tool that's never used is a sad thing in its own way.
深見の右目の負傷は2回目だ。次は失明するぞ。
I've warned her about that too, but nowadays she won't even listen to me.
ちゃんと構ってやっているのか？桑原さんさに預けっぱなしでは心の距離が開いても
That's a good question. Maybe you should spend some more time with Rena. If I give her too much attention, she'll start acting spoiled and selfish. It's hard to get a feeling for emotional distance.
誰もが上手に距離感を保つことができれば、そもそも戦争など起きんだろう。
Oh, Taiga. If only it were that simple. You got that right. But Tiger does have a point. I would like to see more time. I would like to see Haruto spend more time with Rena. You know, just the two of them. The enemy has been closing in over the past few days. We let them breach our fortifications, and they've even managed to infiltrate the underground levels.
最近は野菜が高く
Okay, so now we're back to this Patrick kid.
高い金を払っても新鮮な野菜が手に入るわけじゃないし。
仕方がねえよ。外との流通が断たれてだいぶ経つからな。
こういう時のために地下の植物工場で野菜を育ててるんじゃないのか？
植物工場で栽培された野菜なんてそれこそ高級品だ。俺たち産休信者の口には入らない。
Oh, I just realized.
そういうのが増えるのは
Wait.
入信の時に大金を払った一級信者か。
環境を設定するね。
I
画面
usually...
表示テキスト
Where
の
is
設
it?
定だね。
I usually have it where it displays the song name. There we go, default. There we go. I know for a fact that this volume has to have some new tracks, new BGM tracks coming soon.
どうしても食いたきゃ警備隊に志願して二級信者になるぐらいしかないな。
そこまで野菜好きってわけじゃないさ。でも野菜を食べないと体に悪い。
いつ死ぬかもわかんねえのに何健康なんか気にしてんだよ。
Well, I mean, that means you gotta spend as much time right now to sustain your health so you can survive a little bit longer.
そうすれば新鮮な野菜が手に入るかも。
造幣局が泥棒を雇うと思うか？
それはそうか。
今はまだ食い物も水も薬も手に入るけどよ。こりゃそのうちなんとかしねえとな。まともな仕事に就かなきゃ飢え死にする。なあ、お前の親父のつてでダムで働けねえのか？
水力発電所も今じゃほとんどがコンピューター制御だ。逆にどんどん人が減らされてる。僕の父さんだ。今じゃただ毎日ダムを見回りしてるだけだよ。
散歩してるだけで金がもらえるなら羨ましいけどな。
True, I guess.
50セントだ。タバコの1本も買えない。あんなの働いて
あ
昔はそれこそダム勤務なんて高級取りだったんだけどな。
狭い世界だからね。たった数年でいろんなものが変わっちゃうのさ。人も物の価値もね。
酔っ払いの親父みたいなこと言うなよ。
昔は良かったって言い出したの君だ。
Back in my day.
おっと、そろそろ2時だ。敵さんが昼飯と休憩を終えて攻めてくる時間だぞ。
時計なんて持ってたのか。全部売ったと思ってた。
ま、一つくらいはな。これはいざって時に売る機械式だぜ。高く売れる。俺が死んだらお前にやるよ。
いらないよ。どうせもらうなら僕はソーラー駆動で電波受信のできる最新式のやつがいい。
光も電波も届かないこんな地下でか。
Kinda has a point.
一般市民の方は速やかに自宅に戻り、外出を控えて有事に備えてください。
A curfew, huh?
僕たちも戻らないと。
俺たちは火事場泥棒だぞ。戻ってどうする？どっかに隠れて戦闘をやり過ごすんだよ。
隠れるってどこに？
とにかくこのフロアはまずい。一旦下に降りよう。始まったぞ。
下に降りよう。
非常時にエレベーターは使うな。閉じ込められるぞ。
下に降りてどうする？
Okay, so yeah, this is definitely two different characters, and I'm guessing that this is all taking place around the same time as, like, well, it basically all takes place during present day, like present events. So I'm guessing this is showing like the civilian side of that little underground city.
この下のフロアにシェルターがある。そこへ逃げ込もう。シェルターの中なら放射砲の移動の電力を確保するために停電になっても電力が供給されてるはずだ。
爆発だ。近づいてきてないか？急ごう。
こんな階段いつ崩れ落ちるか分かったもんじゃない。
地下に風が吹いてる。どこかで火事が起きてるんだ。
見えたぞ。シェルターだ。飛び込め。
ダメだ。内側からロックされてる。
おい、開けてくれ。俺たちは子供だ。子供が2人助けてくれ。もうすぐ敵が来る。
早く開けてくれ。間に合わなくなる。お願いだ。
You're a little old to be considered kids by some people, but hopefully it'll work out for y'all.
見ればわかるだろう。入れてくれ。
よし、入れ。
助かった。
入ったら扉をロックしろ。確実にだ。お水が甘いとガスでやられる。
Gassed. I shut the stiff, heavy blast hatch. It closes firmly when Bruno throws his entire body weight onto the lever. The space inside is tight, even for a shelter. It's really just a basic dugout for emergency use. 10 people might fit in it, but with 20, there wouldn't even be space to sit.
オリバーだ。見ての通り、警備隊員。
ブルーノだ。
I don't know, this shelter right here looks a lot bigger than what he described, than what Patrick described. Hell, it looks like 40 people can fit in here.
そっちは。
パトリック。
From what I can see, he's the only member of the guard. There seem to be about 9 other people taking shelter here. 9 civilians in this tight little space, 12 including us, were packed in like sardines. But it doesn't feel especially claustrophobic, and with good reason.
なんで子供ばっかりなんだ
Something has been bothering me since the moment we entered the shelter. Trembles of fear, delicate, hushed voices, a sweet soap-like fragrance, and a general air of cleanliness.
全員女の子だ
Girls, a rare sight in this underground stronghold. Like small creatures in captivity, they've crammed themselves into a corner of the shelter. They're all scared stiff, though neatly turned out in their smart uniforms. Those uniforms look familiar. A childhood friend of Bruno and mine, Ariel, wears the same uniform. It's that worn by the children at Father Renard's orphanage.
なんでこんなことに
仕方がなかったんだ。敵の進行速度が思ったよりも速い。教会の子供たちを避難させようとしていたところ、途中で引率のシスターがやられたらしい。
やられたって誰が
俺も詳しいことを知らん。引率のシスターの亡骸を取り囲んで、泣きじゃくってるこの子たちを見かけて、慌ててここに避難しただけだからな。
シスターエマが神の身元へ召されました。
Now those are some pretty good looking uniforms, I must say. You got the look at the little stars on the veil, or I actually don't know what this headpiece is called for nuns, but yeah, look at this design. Like, I'm sure this would be some good cosplay material for women. The girl who spoke seemed to be the eldest. She's a cute kid, beautiful, tidy looking hair, plump, flustered cheeks, and downturned eyes that project a strong, confident look. Looking around, all of the girls seem to be around 10 to 13 years old, and they look as though they've been selected for their appearance.
この子たちって
レナード神父のまあなんだそういうことだ
Bruno is unusually lost for words. In this enclosed space, even the smallest whisper is going to reach the girl's ears, so it's understandable that he should stop himself from using vulgar language. I don't say anything more myself, simply returning a slight nod. No words are necessary. Everyone knows what it means to be one of the pretty ones, even among the children of Father Renard's orphanage. Seeing the curiosity of our sleazy gazes, the one who I assume to be the oldest of the girls straightens up, adjusts the collar of her uniform, and takes a deep breath before addressing us.
聖レナード教会準シスターサリーと申します。
She kind of looks like Haruto, I must say. She got the long blue hair, blue eyes. She even got an expression that kind of looks like Haruto. I'm dumbfounded at the elegance of her greeting, given how desperate the situation is. The young girl next to this Sally continues.
聖レナード教会シスター補佐ルイーズです。ごきげんよう。聖レナード教会シスター見習いメリッサです。ごきげんよう。
待て待てそんな一度に言われても覚えられねえよ
Yeah, plus who knows how long you guys are actually gonna stay here. Sally, Luis, Melissa. It appears that the three of them are the leaders of the group. Novice, postulant, pre-postulant. I don't know how their roles differ, but presumably the first of the trio holds the most senior rank. So these girls must be those elite beauties that Bruno mentioned before. Faced with these girls, each of them an unattainable jewel, Bruno huffs in sheer exasperation at the world.
でどうすんだこの後は
外の戦闘が収まったら、この子たちをレナードのところまで連れて行く。どうだお前たちも手伝うな。
Renard's place?
手伝えって言われても
Oh, okay, so yeah, there's more girls. Yo, this girl kind of looks like, Is it Nino? I think it's Nino. Like, I haven't watched Quintessential Quintuples, but this girl kind of looks like Nino. Look, she even got the... No, there's no way. There's no way. She even got the fucking ribbons and everything. She doesn't have a headpiece like the other girls. She got the 2 ribbons in her hair, like the twin tail look, the red hair. Like, oh my god. Bro, I need to show this screenshot to my boy Ramen Reviews. He loves Nino from Quintessential Quintuples. Oh my god, he is going to... I would love to see his reaction. But yeah, other than that, like, yeah, looks like we got a lot more girls here. We got some twins here. This girl, I like this girl's hair. Wait, can you actually see my cursor? Okay, no, you can't actually see my cursor. But yeah, I like the girls. When I say I like the girl's hair, I'm talking about the girl with the purple hair girl. The one that has like purple and pink hair and pink eyebrows. It's the girl's strength from my gaze as I look around. All of them seem frail, having been raised so tenderly from a young age by Father Renard. Escorting all of them to safety would be pretty tough.
この子たちをレナードのところまで連れて行けば報酬がもらえるぞ。
あんた善意でこの子たちを助けたんじゃないのか?
Oh shit.
腹は膨れねえよ。
So they're gonna sell. So he plans on selling them back to Father Renard. No one is motivated to act out of kindness of their heart. That's not something peculiar to this Oliver. What appears at first to be virtue is actually self-interest. It's a conclusion that should be common sense for any adult.
わざわざ俺たちの手を借りて連れて行くより、警備隊と合流した方が確実だろう。なぜそうしない?
It's interesting that Bruno, like, is surprised by Oliver's statement, Oliver's plan to sell the girls, because he's the scavenger. Both Patrick and Bruno, they're scavengers. They literally were looting dead corpses, so they can sell their stuff at a price. Like, Oliver's desperate for money too, just like you two. I guess not even Bruno would stoop as low as selling whole human beings. Still pretty surprising though, because Bruno of all people should know how the grind is. It's strange now that I think about it. There's no way that he would enlist our help if he wanted all the glory for himself and not his comrades in the guard. Maybe the other guards are dead? Or off in battle? To the guard, we are like bandits, target for punishment, not potential allies in battle. Does this Oliver really belong to the guard?
なるほどね。
Bruno was the one to clear my doubts.
一人でいるからおかしいと思ったんだ。あんた、脱走兵だな。
Deserter. The word hung in the air. A word for outcasts who break from society to join TFA, only to run away again after struggling to fit in. Many of these deserters become bandits. They group together with other misfits and operate bandit rings according to their own rules. The guard came down hard on these bandit rings. If traitors like them were allowed to roam free, everything would crumble to the ground.
だったらなんだ? 通報するか?
あんたを通報したって一セントにもなりゃしねえよ。
We're lowly thieves, wannabe bandits. To report him would only be to stir the hornet's nest. In which case, we're surely better off sneaking a reward for delivering these kids to Father Renard. That doesn't mean we can trust this Oliver character, though.
どうして警備隊を抜けたんです？理由を話してもらえないことには、あなたを信用することも。
Probably for the same reason why anybody would desert. Because war is hell. Like, war is so mentally and physically taxing. Like, I don't blame anybody for deserting. I mean, obviously, it's a bad thing and it's made illegal. I mean, it makes you the scum of society because you're abandoning your comrades who actually do choose to fight on the front lines. But, I mean, at the end of the day, can you really blame people who desert? Like, I mean, yeah, well, I guess what they did, like, I guess deserting is technically considered wrong, but like I said, it's war. War is hell. Like, not a lot of men are mentally and physically prepared for war. Despite what requirement or boot camp you have to go through.
だよな。
You know, as one of the lines in 21 Guns by Green Day, sometimes the pain weighs out the pride. Does the pain weigh out the pride? Oliver stares up at the ceiling of the dugout, turning the corners of his mouth.
狂ってんだよ、あいつら。やられたらやり返せ。聖戦に全てを捧げろ。仲間や同胞のために戦え。この戦いに参加しなかった奴は裏切り者として処分する。みんなできることだぞ。なぜお前はできないんだ。俺が警備隊を抜けた理由はこの3つだ。やられたらやり返すなんて言ってるうちは一生争いはなくならない。どこかでやめなきゃいけないと分かっていても、俺を含めて誰も何もできない。希望もクソもない。
Now, one of the things I want to know right now is, why doesn't Oliver have a character design? Like, how come we don't actually see Oliver? We only hear his voice. Like the girls have. Like, they give character designs for the girls, even though they only said like one line or like a few lines. We only see them once so far. Maybe it's a sign that Oliver is gonna get clipped later on, soon. I mean, it's really weird that they wouldn't show Oliver, considering that the amount of dialogue he has right now, and the fact that we're actually getting a story behind it, like characterization.
そんで、裏切り者は処分すると決まれば、誰もが裏切り者探しを始めた。少しでも言葉を間違えて発言すれば、貴様裏切り者かとか、息が詰まるぜ。挙句、そんな狂った環境に疑問も持たずに、誰もがやっていると。
I'm definitely wondering why they felt the need to give the girls, like, draw character designs for the girls, but not for Oliver. He thought that he had finally fled from the world he found so stifling, and the world to which he escaped turned out to be even more suffocating. I don't mean to speak as if I'm wise beyond my years, but I know from experience that there's rarely a light at the end of the tunnel.
どうする？俺を警備隊に突き出して、お前たちだけでこの子たちをレナードのところに。
Nah, they wouldn't have anything to gain from that.
俺らもそこまで暇じゃねえ。
人は忙しいぐらいでちょうどいい。暇になるとろくなことをしない。お互いを監視し始めて、足を引っ張り合って、最後は決まって殺し合いになる。
それが分かってるならなんで仲間を増やそうとする。あんた一人でやりゃいいじゃねえか。俺たちは巻き込むな。
それができりゃ俺だってそうする。
Oliver then extends his hand towards the console embedded in the wall next to the blast door.
エレベーターが爆破されたのは知ってるよな。
Oof.
知らなかったのか。だから階段を使って降りてきたんじゃないのか。
非常時にエレベーターを使うと放射砲の電源確保のために停電になった時閉じ込められるからな。それを嫌っただけだ。
ならついてたな。もしあの時エレベーターを使ってたらケージごと墜落して。
Oh, that's nice. Oliver gestures with his chin at a small 8-inch monitor on the wall. It's showing what looks like the feed from a camera outside. On screen is an exploded elevator shaft, still emitting plumes of black smoke. If we'd taken the elevator back then, a chill runs up my spine at the mere thought of it. Flipping the switch on the wall changes the camera feed. This one shows the stairs we took to get down here.
へえ、カメラを切り替えて外の様子が見れるのか。
I know, what a crazy concept, CCTV.
階段まで見れる。お前たちがここに来るのもモニターで見ていた。
だからあっさりと扉を開けたのか。
見ろ、敵の先兵だ。
Ew!
しかも
Oh shit! Oh shit! Rena and Maki, they've already infiltrated the base! Oh boy, what is this gonna mean? That means Oliver's gonna get clipped, but then what's gonna happen to Bruno and Patrick? Actually, oh man, I didn't think they. I'll be honest, I did not expect them to. Like, I didn't expect them to already infiltrate the base and everything. Like, oh my god, oh what's gonna happen?
お前ら敵を見たのは初めてか。
いやそうじゃないけど僕たちが見てきた敵の死体は
Ah, but those are the grunts, the pawns. Now what you have here is the knights and the rooks.
敵は子供を先兵にして盾にしているのか
見た目に騙されるなよ。へんてこな制服を着てるだろ。
Yep.
訓練された殺し屋だ。
殺し屋
その昔、オスロの傭兵学校ってのがあってな。
知ってるぜ。子供を人体改造して強化人間にして売ってるって噂だ。
今は経営者が変わってホローハウスって名前になってるけどな。敵はそこで買った子供たちを戦場に送り込んでる。
武器商人から買った強化兵を使ってるって言うんですか
何を今更だ。奴らが使ってる銃や弾薬だってグレイプレシジョン製の商品だ。
Great precision.
まずいぞ。隠しカメラに気づかれた。さすがにいい感じてやがる。普通は気づかねえぞ。化け物。
What makes you think normal people wouldn't even notice a camera?
褒めてんのか？
まさか人殺しの勘の良さなんざ羨ましくもない。ああはなりたくないね。
Soldiers are professional killers on the battlefield. Professional soldiers spend most of their lives fighting. Assassins devote their entire lives to the craft, though. No amateur can hope to win against a lifelong devotee, however desperately they try. Losers will always be losers, no matter where they go.
聞こえるか。外で銃撃戦が始まった。
Uh-oh.
戦ってるんですかあの子たちが
言ったろ。あいつらはプロの殺し屋だ。道場は筋違いってもんだ。
Oh, they might be coming to get you. Well, actually, I don't know.
事実、俺の仲間だったやつはあいつら。
That I believe. But yeah, I'm definitely wondering, like, if Ren and Maki reach, once Ren and Maki reach this bunker, what are they gonna do once they see all these girls, and then Bruno and Patrick and Oliver, the only soldier among them, those gunslinging girls. I turn my head to feel all of the little girls huddled together. I turn my head to find all of the little girls huddled together, shivering. Right and wrong are completely jumbled in my mind.
戦闘の音が大きくなってないか？近づいてきてるのか？
それもそうだが、おそらくは公園の敵部隊が合流したんだろうな。見ろよ、大所帯だ。ガスグレネード
Flamethrowers?
射器
Damn.
随分とやる気だな。
They're waging war and gas grenades? They're waging World War II on your asses.
おりゃ、いずれここも見つかるな。今のうちにここを出て逃げないと戦闘に巻き込まれるぞ。
ここを出るんですか
What, you're gonna stay here?
見ればわかるだろう。敵がここまで押し込んできたってことは、ここで待ってれば警備隊が敵を押し戻してくれるなんて考えは捨てろよ。
ここに閉じこもっていてもいずれは扉を破られてガスか炎で殺される。だったら今のうちに外に出て戦闘のどさくさに紛れて逃げ出す方がまだマシだ。
こりゃいよいよだな。俺はその話乗ったぜ。
よせ死にに行く気か
なぶり殺しにされるのを待つぐらいなら戦って死んだ方がマシだ。それにもしここを無事に乗り切ったとして、お前いつまで火事場泥棒で食っていく気だ。俺は戦うぜ。
Oh.
よーし、よく言った少年。銃を取れ。使い方はわかるな。
Oh boy. Well, I mean, I admire Bruno's bravery at least.
使ったことはねえけど
His willingness to
漫
fight.
画で使い方は覚えた。
よし。お前は
僕は使い方を知らないし、できれば銃は
Looks like Bruno's got the power of God and anime on his side.
僕はここを出るという意見に賛成した覚えはない。
ならどうする？お前だけ残るか？
僕だけ。
見ろよ。
I turn around to see where Oliver's gaze is directed. Just as the girls have matching uniforms, they also have matching messenger bags slung over their shoulders. What are they carrying?
お嬢ちゃんたちは乗り気だぜ。というか、ここに残ったところで殺されるだけだってみんなわかってる。
そうなると決まったわけじゃないだろう。
敵に捕まった信者がどうなるのか聞いたことないのか。想像を絶するような拷問を受けて知ってることを全て話す羽目になる。
Unless you're a cute girl, in which case you become one of them.
全部吐いたところで楽になるわけじゃない。
You become a part of Haruto's
も
harem.
っと知っているはずだとそれまで以上の責め苦を受ける。本当に知らなかろうと関係ない。死ぬまで尋問される。
相手は政府機関だ。そこまでするはずがないって思ってるだろう。甘いんだよ。政府機関といっても連中は名簿に名前が載ってないスペシャルだ。匿名ってだけでやりたい放題。そんな連中にブレーキなんかないって俺たちが一番よく知ってるだろう。
ましてやこれだけ大勢の女の子を見つけたら連中がどうするかなんて
Make him
あ
a
の前に砂糖を置くより明確だ。
make him a part of Haruto's harem. But then again, they are 10 to 13 years old, so maybe have them join the medical force with Taiga. One thing's true, even though we've taken shelter in here, there is no prospect of our soldiers pushing back the enemy forces. Judging by the situation outside, I'd guess that we have about another 2 hours left. If we're found by the enemy, the worst case scenario is that we'll be gassed or cooked by a flamethrower. The second worst outcome is that we're also cruelly tortured, that death soon follows. The third worst is that we're tortured but escape with our lives. If even hoping for those three outcomes is a matter of luck, we might as well take our lives on our own hands and try to make it out, even if it's by the skin of our teeth.
僕も行く。
判断が遅えんだよ。こういうのはパッと決めねえと後で必ず後悔するぞ。
銃は
それはやっぱりいらない。使い方を知らない道具を持つと周りに迷惑をかけるだろう。
だな。俺も後ろからお前に撃たれたくはねえ。
とにかくここを出るぞ。準備はいいか。
Well, like I said, I admire their bravery at least. But at the end of the day, I honestly don't give a shit if they get clipped or not, if they die or not. I get that Bruno and Patrick do have some sort of characterization going on. This story did give us a bit of character behind them. But at the end of the day, nah, I don't really, so far, yeah, don't really give a shit about these two. The moment the door to the shelter opens, an unbearable stench assaults my nose and singes my eyes. It's the odor of burned blood and gunpowder. Everyone in the vicinity is left coughing and rubbing their eyes.
俺とオリバーのおっさんが先頭を取る。お前はお嬢ちゃんたちの後ろからついてこい。ぼんやりして後ろの警戒を忘れるなよ。
分かってる。
Leading the way is Oliver. To his rear is Bruno, and between us are 9 girls. I know the names of the first 3, Sally, Louise, and Melissa, in that order. Directly behind them are a few younger-looking girls, and then further back is a group of taller, possibly older girls. I'm the last in line. I find myself trying to memorize each of the girls' characteristics so that none of them go missing. 2 of the girls look almost exactly alike, identical twins. Are they twins? Their facial and body proportions are the same as are their hairstyles and mannerisms, with their identical uniforms as well. The differences between them are the two are nearly imperceptible. If there is any discrepancy at all, it's that one is wearing her bag on her left shoulder while the other is wearing her bag on her right. Without their satchels, I wouldn't be able to tell them apart. Keeping his gaze fixed straight ahead, Oliver lifts his right fist as high as his shoulder. Well, it's been nice knowing you guys.
敵の足が速いんじゃなくて警備隊が弱すぎるんだろ。
It's unclear whether or not Bruno's snarky comment reached Oliver's ears. The latter takes a sheet of paper from his breast pocket and spreads it flat.
ここが俺たちが今までいたシェルター。現在位置が大体ここで、こっちのルートに出て南に行けば安全に地下に降りられる。
そっちには敵がいるぜ。
それは分かっている。そこで一旦西に迂回する。こっちの通路はまだ聖地前の通路だ。道は狭いが身を隠せるところがたくさんある。
随分遠回りですけど。
東の通路は使えないのか。
そこはもう昨日の段階で敵の手に落ちた。今頃敵の前線基地になってるかもしれない。
かもしれないだろ。この距離ならダッシュで走り抜ければ行ける可能性が高いぜ。
それこそかもしれないだろう
けどよ、この人数を引き連れて敵の真横を見つからないようにこっそり通り抜けようってのがそもそも無理だ。リスクは大して変わらねえんじゃねえか。
が。それはそうだが。
パトリック、お前どう思う？
I want to pick the safer option, even if it's only marginally better. But in the absence of a truly safe option, I prefer to take the shorter of the two routes. Either way, is it better to be captured by the enemy after taking the harder path or having had an easier time of it? As I scratch my chin pondering these depressing thoughts, my eyes meet Sally's. She's standing in front of the other girls. There's a glint of resolve in her eyes, and she's biting down on her bottom lip to keep her spirit strong. This girl would still look cute with any expression, just as this ill-timed thought enters my mind. I'm struck by another. I cannot let my careless decisions expose these girls to danger.
西に行こう。
根拠は？
西の通路は遠回りになるし、足場も悪いけど、未整備の通路だから、当然電気も来てないし、敵にも見つかりにくいと思うんだ。真っ暗だし、初めて通る道だから時間はかかると思うけど、幼い子もいるし、敵のど真ん中を駆け足で走り抜けるよりはマシな気がする。
なるほど。
That's a bold move, Con. Let's see how it pays off.
こいつの言うことを信じるのか。
なんで俺がこんなヘタレ野郎と一緒に仕事をしてたと思う？パトリックは鼻が利くんだ。こいつがヤバいと感じた現場には絶対に足を踏み入れない。そのルールを守ってきたおかげで俺は今でも生きてる。言ってる意味わかるか？
炭鉱のカナリアみたいなものか。西へ向かおう。
いいだろうも何も。もともとあんたが言い出したことだ。
よし、お嬢ちゃんたち、西へ向かうぞ。できるだけ通路の端へ寄って頭を低くして進むんだ。いいな。
No one is in the mood to react to the sudden command, much less pump their fists and shout, "Yes, sir!" Instead, they all look down meekly, stooping as low as they can to follow the person in front of them.
敵は今あっちから攻めてきてる。絶えず敵の位置を意識して銃弾の飛んでくる可能性のある方向から身を隠すように進むんだ。それと怖いとは思うが、できるだけ壁から離れて歩け。長弾でやられるぞ。
No matter how disengaged you are from the fighting in a war, you at least have to grasp the position of the enemy. That's an ironclad rule. If you can't discern the direction that the gunfire is coming from, if you don't know when and where it will likely hit, you're going to get hit by friendly fire in the confusion. And if you're walking along behind cover, there's something you'll inevitably come across.
ナタリー、早く進んで。でも
girl named Natalie has encountered members of the guard killed by the enemy fire in her path. Not just one or two either. The bodies lie end to end like a red carpet. Oh, so that's why there's like a blood. There's red all over the screen. And the track is called The Murder. Oliver and Bruno, leading the pack, bravely and deftly avoiding stepping on the corpses. Bravely and deftly avoided stepping on the corpses, but it's easy to imagine how grueling this must be for the girls, unused to seeing dead bodies. We can't afford to waste time here. These are children, and they must be spoken to with care.
おいで、手を出して。
I stand before her and offer her my hand, but she simply stares back at me. Her expression is one of pure fear, as if the ground itself might give way beneath her if she lets down her guard.
いいかい。慌てなくていいから、できるだけ死体を踏まないように。行くよ。僕の足跡を踏んで進めばいい。できるね。
Oh, Patrick, what a great guy. I take Natalie's tiny hand and quietly guide her forward. I advance forward, avoiding the corpses, so that Natalie can follow. I make sure to take smaller strides. When I can't avoid a body, I do my best to step on its back. If the flesh pulls away from the bone, you can easily slip on their arms and legs. It's like walking on a carpet of splattered organs, and if you're careless, it could be like stepping on a banana peel. Oh, again, another lovely description. Jesus Christ. I pull Natalie along by the hand. After a while, I look behind me and spot Sally's face among the others. From what I can make out, Sally appears to nod in my direction. Yep, there's Lorraine.
メリッサはシャーリーの手を引いてあげて。はい、わかりました、お姉様。アルマとイルマは、アルマがイルマの手を引いて。できるでしょ？あなたはお姉さんなのだから。はい。ほら、行くよ、イルマ。
The older sister takes the younger one by the hand. She resembles a soldier with a couple of years' service guiding a fresh recruit. Quite a description for just one interaction between the two. They've most likely done almost everything together since they joined the orphanage, and I bet that the youngest looking girl, Natalie, has always had Sister Emma to hold her hand.
おい、急げよ。焦らせないでくれ。 それは俺じゃなくて敵に言え。戦闘がこっちに流れてきてんだよ。
Uh-oh! What is that? Of course. He's right, now that I think about it. The number of dead bodies from our side must mean that we're on the front line. And we're about to cross the line of enemy fire. How can I not know something so obvious? Uh-oh. I yank Natalie's hand and pull her towards me to shield her, and she plunges headfirst to the corpse-littered pool of blood. A bullet flies through the air above my lower head, bristling the hairs of the back of my head. The thought of such a close shave makes me shudder. Damn, how crazy. It, like, literally when he had that thought that they might be on the front lines, well, there's gunfire hurled towards them. Scary coincidence, scary timing. The girls bury their heads in the wall of blood as if they've been shoved in by Bruno himself. Oh, poor girls. Those are some nice uniforms, too. And I highly doubt they have access to good detergent, since they're in a war and all. I want to get out of this hellhole as soon as I can. United by that single thought, the girls wade through the bloody pool of bodies. At this point, I peer forwards, spying the tunnel that connects to the westward passage. It's about 20 meters from us. We could cover the distance in just a few seconds if we stood up and ran. but it feels all too far away. Uh-oh. A bullet pierces the body of a fallen soldier directly in my path. Had it been a little closer, it would have struck my head. Woo! Instead, a bullet clacked against the corpse's skull, splattered its contents everywhere. The body twitched despite being dead. Ugh. This is the last straw. I can't let the kids see this, no matter what. With Natalie clutched in front of me, I immediately reached over to cover her eyes. Am I going to die here? Yet with each living breath, I continue to inch forward. As long as I make even a little progress, the distance will only get shorter regardless of how far we have left to go. With one arm wrapped around Natalie and the other planted on the ground, I crawl forward, little by little. As I turn my head, I see older kids copy my example, cradling the younger ones as they crawl forward too. Before I know it, Bruno had circled to the back of the line, ushering the girls from behind like a sheepdog driving its herd. The battle may have grown fierce, but there are no bullets targeted at us. The ones flying in our direction are all strays. If we stay low and move quietly without panicking, we can make it through. 5 meters to go. 2 meters. 50 centimeters. With Natalie still in my arms, I leap into a pitch black tunnel. I can't see a thing past arm's length. This is the first time I felt so relieved to plunge into darkness. A child dived in behind me, one after another. Let go of Natalie. I don't think I was aware how tightly I was holding her and stared directly at her. Can't quite see in the darkness, but Natalie seems to be using the back of her hand to wipe the blood away from her face. Must have smeared it all over her while I rushed to cover her eyes. I want to wipe it away with a handkerchief, but I don't have anything so convenient on me. I do, however, rub it off with the end of my sleeve. Cleaned of the dripping blood and soot, her face is marked only by a wide-eyed stare. Dull eyes, plump, girlish features. Facially, she looks even younger than my 11-year-old sister. Oh, where's Oliver? Natalie, who is gripping onto the shirt sleeve I used to wipe her face, looks up to me and opens her mouth to speak. Somehow we all made it out safely. What a relief. As soon as I relax, a voice startles me from behind. Oh, there he is. You know, just in case an enemy rushes up on you. Is it really time to be arguing with the guy? I mean, y'all literally just escaped death and y'all are in the middle of a war zone. Like, think for a second, Bruno. Think! Before I can finish speaking, something slices across my cheek. Bullet, without a doubt. Uh-oh. It was only a small flashlight that Oliver retrieved from his pocket, but it still dazzled us. Our eyes have grown accustomed to the darkness. Damn, y'all only been in the darkness for like what, how long? A few seconds? A couple minutes? The first to notice something strange under the tiny beam of the flashlight The first to notice something strange under the tiny beam of the flashlight's firefly mode is Sally. Oh, she's horrified. Hearing Sally take a sharp breath as if she forgot how to speak, I follow the direction of her gaze. There in the shade, I could just make out a girl with ginger hair lying on the ground, her hips twisted awkwardly. Oh no, the Nino-looking girl didn't make it. Oh. Sally drops to her knees and cradles Lorraine's body, but it remains limp and motionless. Oh. In her arms, Lorraine's head lolls around. Half of it is missing. Jeez, how did half of it become missing? What? I mean, how big was that stray bullet? Ah, man. I gotta be honest. I mean, I would have preferred one of the guys kick the bucket, but man, it sucks that one of the girls did. I was afraid that would happen too, because like, I mean, they're innocent girls, possibly abused by Father Renard, like, and all of the hell they've been through, even crawling through like blood and bodies and all that shit, has led up to this. I mean, it sucks. I really do feel bad for these girls. I really wish things could have ended differently for Lorraine. Oh my god, are all the I really hope all the girls don't end up kicking the bucket. Oliver dispassionately shines his flashlight over Lorraine's head wound. Oh, poor Sally, man. It was a matter of chance. She happened to be there. The bullet happened to fly past, and it happened to strike her dead. There's no particular rhyme or reason to it. Lorraine didn't necessarily do anything wrong. People die, just by happenstance, especially during war. That's life on the battlefield. What, you gotta carry her body? No one replies. Illuminated by Oliver's flashlight is Lorraine's tragic form. We need no further persuasion. Everyone swallows their words and does nothing but stare silently back at Oliver. Unable to withstand our piercing gazes, Oliver gets a short huff and switches off the flashlight. I was about to say, like, didn't you just say the flashlight would give away your position? I nod reluctantly and feel a tap on my shoulder from Bruno as he walks past. He's right. There's no way for us to bring back the dead. Digging graves and holding memorial services only serve to comfort the living. I'm still able to rationalize it this way. The children, though. Yeah, when I show ramen reviews the screenshot of Lorraine, I'm just gonna leave this detail out. Unless he specifically asks. This doesn't prompt any response from the girls. Instead, they each clasp their palms together and offer prayers for Lorraine in the dark. Oh, boy, yeah. Rest in peace, Lorraine. She seemed like a sweet girl, at least. Sally's small impromptu prayer permeates the darkness. Her words sink deep into my chest. She sniffles her little nose. Then, lifting her head, Sally straightens with a sharp breath and turns.
さあ進みましょう。みんなはぐれないように手をつないで。
Spurred on by her words, Natalie finally releases her hold on my shirt sleeve and paws at the darkness in search of my hand. I grasp her hand tightly. I grasp her tiny hand tightly as if to seek her help. Her hand, grasping mine in turn, trembles. She might be crying. I look at Natalie's face, but dare not confirm it for myself. Nothing we can do. Those are the words I loathe most of all. My father would say something like that whenever he knew he was going to lose a huge bet. Nothing we can do. Words uttered by people who have given up on matters large and small. Curse words which bind losers to their defeat. My father said those same words when he heard the news of my family, when he heard news of my brother's death in battle. Nothing we can do. I hate those words so much. Alright, y'all, this is where I'm going to stop with part 1. Let me switch this back to window mode because I actually can't see the saves feature in full screen. But yeah, overall, this has been a pretty interesting start so far. We got to see a little bit of our main cast, but mostly so far it's been focused on Bruno and Oliver and the nun and the little girls, the little nun girls. Bruno, Oliver, Patrick, and the little nun girls as they try to make it through this war, this hellscape, through all this bloodshed and gunfire. So yeah, it's gonna be interesting. So yeah, I'm definitely wondering what exactly is gonna happen to them. What's gonna happen to them? Like I said, I really hope that none of the girls kick the bucket. I don't really care if Oliver, Bruno, or Patrick kick the bucket. But I just at least hope that one of the other girls make it to safety, because again, like I don't think they really did anything to deserve to die. Then again, I guess you can say the same for any of the characters, like some of the guys as well. But still, but yeah. Other than that, thank you guys for watching. Have a great day. Subscribe to my channel. Follow me on Twitter. Support me on Patreon. Links in the description down below. And I will see you guys next time.